topic for today. Today's interview, we have a juicy topic: magnetizing money, love, and happiness with ease, no less. Aside from health, these are probably the top three things most people are looking for in life. So achieving even one would be considered success for many. So I'm fascinated to hear from our next guest, who has had such success magnetizing all three. So with that, I'd like to introduce Rebecca Whitman. Now, hi, Rebecca. Welcome.
Hi, Susan. It's so great to be here.
Yeah, so great to have you. Rebecca is a magnetic abundance mentor. I love that title. And international, that's actually the acronym MAM. She's a MAM. And international.
No one's ever said that. I won't feel old the next time someone calls me ma'am now. I'll say, oh, they just know my title.
Oh, this is good. She's an international best-selling author. She's a smart cookie. She graduated with honors from Princeton University. She was awarded the Life Coach of the Year and Empowered Woman of the Year by the International Association of Top Professionals. And USA Today rated her in the top 5 entrepreneurs to watch in 2024. She hosts the top 1% globally ranked Balanced, Beautiful, and Abundant podcast. And she won a Positive Change Award for that. And she's been in all these amazing publications: New York Weekly, Miami Magazine, LA Weekly. She's been on ABC, CBS, over 100 podcasts. She's here, there, and everywhere. Keynote speeches at Columbia University and UCLA. And she's been on stage with some legendary people like her, Grant Cardone, Jack Canfield, and Les Brown. So I'd say Rebecca has the credibility box well and truly ticked, and clearly knows a thing or two about magnetizing abundance. So welcome again,
Thank
Rebecca.
you. It's so great to be here.
I am so happy to have you on. This is going to be fun. So, I know you are passionate about empowering overworked and overwhelmed women and helping them transform from burned out to balanced, beautiful, and abundant. I mean, I've had a similar sort of thing in my own journey. How did you find this calling?
Well, I appreciate your kind intro and, all the accolades about the media and people I've shared a stage with, but it wasn't always that way. I remember as I was divorcing somebody who was very verbally abusive to me and very mean, I was tending to my dad back in Ohio, where I just moved. And every month I would visit him in a nursing home. And I remember not knowing which conversation with my dad would be my last and just hanging on his every word. And in one of our last conversations, he said, Rebecca, the way that you're living life is so different than most. I really think you should write a book. And I had no idea in that moment what I was going to write about. I wasn't into coaching or podcasting or personal growth. I had moved to LA to be an actress, but I had done a deep dive into the law of attraction. I started getting results from it. So a few months later, my dad had made his transition. His funeral was on a Wednesday. My divorce was finalized on a Friday. And a couple weeks later, I know, I was sitting across the desk from my financial planner, and I know you're in that world. You're a finance expert. And he said, Rebecca, even though you lost your dad in your marriage this year, you're having your best fiscal year ever. In fact, you're a self-made millionaire with your investments. And I think it would be very interesting if you would write a book and teach women what you did to be so resilient and to manifest money. So I was like, that's exactly what I'm going to write about. So I wrote a book. It's called How to Make a Six-Figure Income Working Part-Time. And it's not actually about a financial plan. It's how to live life holistically in 7 key areas, which I call my 7 pillars of abundance. And now I teach women to go from burned out and overwhelmed to balanced, beautiful, and abundant through aligning their life in these 7 key areas. So that's how I came to be doing what I'm doing.
Oh, wow. What a journey. And it's like that sometimes. Out of some of the worst things come the best things. You
Yes.
know, when I've bid on houses and lost them, something better came along. So where it's finding, you can find the opportunity really in any adversity. Maybe not in that moment, but you can. So I love the way that I love the way how that's all come about. So I know that you've got some tools that you want to talk about today. You mentioned the 7 pillars of abundance, but is it okay if we talk about the 4 A's of transformation before then, or
Yeah.
is there a specific order? Which one
No,
goes
we
better
can
first?
we can talk about, they're very interconnected. So when you look at your life through these 7 pillars, they are spirituality, fitness, emotions, romance, mental, social, and financial. We usually have a couple areas where we're totally crushing and a couple areas that need some support. So usually in the areas that are not going as well, we have a limited belief or a negative narrative. So let's say, for example, fitness. Maybe somebody is making a ton of money, they're even in a great relationship, but they just can't lose those last 15 pounds, right? So they say in their head, you know what, Rebecca, I've tried everything. I've done paleo, I've done keto, I've had nutritionists, I've done Jenny Craig. It doesn't work. I'm just a certain age. I just have to accept that this is my body. I'm always going to carry these 15 pounds and I'll never have that, college or high school body that I used to have. And they're just like, no, that's it. That's just me. That's who I am now. So that would be a limiting conversation. So how the 4 A's of change or transformation work is, the first A is an awareness that you have a limited belief around one of these, conversations where you feel stuck. So the awareness is, okay, I have this limited belief that I'm always going to carry an extra 15 pounds. The second A is acceptance. You're not going to judge yourself. You're not going to say, I should know better. I listened to the High Performing Woman show. I've read all the books. I've taken all the classes. I listened to all the podcasts about nutrition and health. I know the law of attraction. Why am I being so negative? So you don't want to beat yourself up about having a negative belief. You just want to accept it. Okay, I have a limiting belief around fitness. The third A is affirmation. So the opposite of your limiting belief is how you want to structure your affirmation. So in this scenario, the limiting belief is, I'm always going to carry this extra weight. So the affirmation would be, I easily and effortlessly release 15 pounds.
That's stated in the present tense. It's like
Yes.
it's stated as if it's already happening,
Yes,
right?
as if you've already done it. I easily and effortlessly release 15 pounds. And what you're doing is you're reprogramming your brain. You're creating a new neural pathway, because the brain is like a highway system, and it has grooves where we keep thinking the same thoughts over and over and over and over again. So if you have a limited belief, you have a groove in your brain, a superhighway that your brain just normally goes to. Oh, I want that dessert, but I shouldn't, but I'm always going to have this extra weight, so I might as well have it, or whatever it is. So we're reprogramming, saying, I easily and effortlessly release these 15 pounds. And then the fourth A is action. What action are you going to do differently? Well, maybe you'll, schedule some workouts with a trainer. Maybe you'll start a new food plan. Maybe you'll take some supplements or hire a nutritionist, or maybe you'll get a workout buddy for accountability. Maybe you'll, have a goal to walk a certain amount of steps every day. So whatever the action is, that will help you reach your goal. And you can do these through all 7 pillars of abundance. You can give yourself an honest ranking, like, where am I between 1 and 10? And then you ask yourself, what is the limiting conversation? And you go through the whole thing. You give yourself an affirmation, and then you have an action to get that pillar of abundance to a level 10. And this is how I work with my clients to make sure that they are crushing it in all 7 areas of life.
Do you ever find, I mean, the first A is awareness. Do you ever find that people just have a blind spot in terms of what's holding them back? Like,
That
how do
is
you, yeah.
Yeah, that's a great question. Some people have such a negative narrative, they don't even know that they have a limited belief around an area. It's like, when it comes to money, right? They just think that maybe they think that everybody spends every dime they make at the end of the month and they're not supposed to have any money left over. And if they do, that's a shock. So, well, they say what my parents spend every dime they make, all my friends spend every dime they make. They don't even know that they could have a savings or invested or anything. So yes, there are people who have limiting beliefs that don't even know. And that is exactly what a coach does. Is a good coach will help point out your blind spot and say, well, there's another way to think about that. You might want to have extra money at the end of the month so you could invest.
Yeah, as you know, I've done coaching as well, and I do remember one client tell me I don't have any limiting beliefs, and I'm like, okay, that there is a limiting belief.
I have a lot of limiting beliefs, and I coach on this. And the only way you get over all your limiting beliefs is if you're like a saint or an ascended master or something. I think it's part of the human condition to have struggle and challenge, and that's how we grow.
And how do you determine, we have the affirmations, but then, you were saying I easily release whatever the weight or whatever. But how do you jump from that to an action? Like, how do you know what action? Is there a strategy for choosing especially when they said, oh, I've tried everything?
Well, again, that's where a coach would come in, but I think we all know what to do in all these areas. Like if we are looking to manifest our soulmate, we know that we should go on so many dates. If we are looking to release weight, we all know that, putting less food in our mouth, exercising is a good formula. So I think we all know intuitively what the actions are. If not, you could hire a coach, you could listen to an awesome show like this one, but it's just, we don't want to do the action that we know because our limiting belief is so strong. We're like, what's the use? It's not going to work.
Yeah. And common sense is not always common practice, right? You say you know it, but knowing it and taking action on it are two different things.
The people who know the most about diet and exercise and getting in shape are the most obese because they study it, but they have such limiting beliefs a lot of times that they don't want to take action or they don't feel worthy of it, but they know exactly how to get in shape. So there are metabolic disorders and all that stuff, but I'm just saying in general, we know that if we want to make more money, we should save more money. But some people like myself, I'm addicted to Amazon. I'm like a dopamine addict. I hit 2 buttons and I got something showing up at my door the next day. That's one of my things. So everybody has things that they're working on.
I love the affirmations because it reminds me of something called reticular activating system, like what you focus on and think about the most. You activate your retinas to see it. I guess that's the new neural pathway. But I do remember a time when my house flooded and it flooded the master bedroom, and I was coming home from work. This was in London. I was coming home from work and it was like a Thursday night and things weren't really open in London at the weekend back then. And the insurance adjuster said, okay, it's been approved. You need to have everything moved out. We'll be there at 7 a.m. on Monday. And I had to work the next day and I was like totally stressed out. I'm like, I need boxes, all shapes and sizes. I need bubble wrap. I need wardrobe boxes. I need to find someplace that's open. And I was thinking about this and just really stating almost like an affirmation. This is what I need. And the next morning, and I didn't even know affirmations back then, but the next morning I was no more than a mile from my house. And I was at a stoplight and I looked up and there was like this massive billboard that said safe storage, open 24 hours a week for your convenience, boxes, all shapes and sizes. And, I quickly called. I'm like, is it true? Are you really open? Yes, ma'am, we are. I'm like, are you new to the area? No. Oh, no. We've been here for 10 years. I'm like, oh, but that billboard on Queenstown Road, that's new, isn't it? Oh, no, it's been here for 3 years. So I would have sworn in a court of law, I was deleting it, and the affirmation manifested it for me, really, right?
Yeah, I mean, what you focus on, you get more of, So be very intentional. It's so funny because people are so intentional about what they put into their mouth, but they're not intentional what they say. And your words carry a vibration that does manifest. And that's why affirmations are so powerful. And it's true, the reticular activating system is a great example. And I love that you manifested. I would call that a manifestation, that you manifested a storage unit with paper and bubble wrap and boxes right when you need it. So I believe that if you are in the flow, and because this whole show, our episode is about doing things with ease and flow, if you trust the universe and if you really have faith that we live in a friendly universe, you will meet the right person. You will get the right information. You will listen to the right podcast. It gives you that next piece of information to go to your next step of growth, development, and unfoldment. And the more you relax, the easier it is, and the more you manifest. And it's the exact opposite of what we're taught. We're taught to work really hard, exhaust ourselves to the point of almost burning out, and that we're going to be rewarded by making a lot of money. But women, I teach to magnetize abundance. So instead of chasing and pushing our energy out and going, to actually do the inner work to get happy, to raise our vibration, and then to magnetize opportunities to yourself.
Love that. So speaking about magnetizing opportunities for yourself, I mean, I think you've just made the movers have just left. You're in your new home, right? And
Oh
you've
my
moved
God.
there, and you moved there with your soulmate.
I am here with my soulmate. He's wandering around in the background. He just laughed. That was him. They
How did
left.
you find your soulmate? Tell us. Tell us.
Yeah. Well, I just want to tell you the movers left at 5:15, exactly the minute before this show started. So that is an example of being in the flow and just trusting. So I met my soulmate. Well, like I mentioned earlier in the show, I had a really toxic marriage. And he said when we were divorcing, he's like, "You're aged out of the dating scene in LA." I was only 40 something. "No one's going to love you. You're going to die alone." And I was like, I'm going
Nice.
to I know, nice guy, right? I'm going to prove you wrong. And so I joined 5 swiping dating sites. I hired a high-end matchmaker. I went on 100 dates, and I didn't like anyone, or they didn't like me. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do a dating detox. That was right before my book was released. So I said, I'm just going to work on my book launch party and not even think about men, talk to men, have anything to do with dating or anything else. Like really just wiping the slate clean. So the weekend before my book launch party, I went to a backyard barbecue thrown by the owner of my small gym. And I met Ben, my soulmate. I invited him to my book launch party. And a week later, he showed up at my book launch party with a book. And he said, "I'd like you to sign it, not here at the book launch, but at a dinner date." And I was just blown away that 6 weeks into my dating detox, my goal was to go 90 days without any dates or even talking to guys, that I manifested my soulmate. And I also really thought about what I did to get to that point. And I reversed engineered it. And now I help women in midlife manifest their soulmate. And it's something that is just so rewarding because I've helped women at every age find love. And it's up. There's my soulmate in the background wandering around, finishing the move. Want to say hi? He's in moving clothes. I'm not.
Excuse my nastiness. Hello.
We're on a live.
Hi.
You're on a live show with me.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right. Well, I'll get back to the boxes.
He's real. He's real. That's great.
He's real. Yeah, he's real. So, and the background's real. I manifested my dream house. So these principles really work, and I'm living it. If I can do it, anyone can do it, because I was and talk about a limiting belief. I had the limiting belief that I was unlucky in love and that my picker was broke and doing the things that we're talking about today, as well as a few of these steps that I teach women, you can manifest your soulmate.
What is just like one? Can you share one tip for manifesting your soulmate?
Yes. So the first step is to process and release your past. And this is true for financial abundance as well as manifesting love. If we hold on to grudges, resentment, and unforgiveness, that is blocking your soulmate. So I know that we've all had heartbreak and some have had divorce and breakups. If you hold on to that resentment, that is going to block your true love coming in. So the first step is to process and release the past. The second step is radical self-acceptance. So you don't need to do anything to meet your soulmate. You don't need to color your roots, balance your checkbook, redecorate your house, lose 5 pounds, get a nicer car, nothing. Like you could meet your soulmate tonight in sweatpants at the grocery store. So
You're just lovable as you are.
yes,
Really.
radical self-acceptance. Those are the first
Right.
2 steps.
I love that. Get the first one. Get rid of the baggage, or at least get it down to hand baggage.
It's true.
Right?
And don't
Making some
trauma
sense.
bond. That's another thing. On the first date, I have a whole first date guide, how to get the second date every time. And I can give it as a gift to your listeners if you want. I'll share the link with you later, Susan. But don't trauma bond. Like, don't be like, you think your divorce was bad. Oh my God, this is what happened with mine. Like, you want to be on the first date, easy breezy, beautiful cover girl. You don't want to be negative.
That's really in any interaction, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, I mean, that's great. I love it. I know that you have got some cool things. Like, let me just see. There are some things that you do. I mean, I just popped one up, the Elegant Warrior training. But what are some of these things that you do? Like when I think about abundance and abundance products. What are abundance products? Like what are these? Tell me a little bit about your what you
Well,
do
the
and how you
7
work with people.
pillars are in those octagons above. You can see those. And then when you have abundance on your own terms, you have freedom. And I'm all about empowering women to have freedom and power. So Elegant Warrior training is helping women to step into their power through releasing limiting beliefs in all these 7 areas, getting customized affirmations to get all 7 areas of life to a level 10, and just to be an elegant warrior, which means feminine yet strong, high achieving women who want to get everything without burning out. Love Elegant Warrior training. And that's a 7-week group class. The next thing is we talked about manifest your soulmate.
Is that sorry to interrupt. Is that online?
Yes,
Do you
I have 2 versions of it. I have a recorded version of it that you can do at your own pace, a video class, or you can do the live interactive Zoom with me and a group of women. So you can.
Do you ever do those in person someplace? Or I know you do retreats, or maybe
Yes.
Okay.
I do touch on the 7 pillars of abundance when I teach retreat. So we'll get to that one. I have a really juicy retreat coming up. I'm so excited in wine country. It's actually close to you, Susan. It's an hour and a half south of San Diego. So we'll talk about that. We talked about manifest your soulmate, 6-figure side hustle. So I believe that everybody should have 3 to 5 streams of income. And I help women take their passion to profit and launch businesses through online marketing. And I've helped a lot of people. I helped someone become a pet matchmaker, matching their favorite type of dog to the right owner. And I've helped all types of people.
Wow.
I know, that was fun, right? She's called the pet fairy godmother, but all kinds of people launch.
Do the pets look like their owners, as they say?
Eventually, that happens over time, not in the matchmaking process. So that's really fun, helping people take passion to profit. I have Magnetic Influence PR, where I have a podcast and a radio show, and I help people get publicity to get more leads and clients that way. And then, oh my God, this luxury wellness retreat, it's in on the Baja Peninsula in wine country in the center of Mexico. And it's a retreat resort center that was started by a doctor who actually cured people of cancer with natural cures. And he has not only the most beautiful retreat, you will get intravenous vitamin treatments, spa treatments, massage. It's at this gorgeous, secluded retreat center in the middle of Mexico and wine country. It's an hour and a half south of San Diego. So you just go to San Diego. We're going to have a luxury vehicle take you from San Diego to the resort. And then I will be teaching my 7 pillars of abundance during the retreat, how to go from burned out to blissed out. And we'll be getting like vitamin treatments and massages, and it'll just
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That was my cancer healing journey as well.
I didn't
So,
realize you
yeah,
had
I had breast cancer, but I didn't do chemo, radiation, or surgery. I did a more of alternative route. It sounds similar, to what your doctor's doing. So,
Yeah, it's for all people to experience holistic health, and that is amazing. Well, when you're on my show, on the Balanced, Beautiful, and Abundant show, I want to talk about your journey of healing yourself from
yeah.
cancer holistically. Congratulations. That's a
Well,
beautiful
thank you.
miracle. Wow. I had no
But
idea.
this is not about me.
I want to make it about you because that's such a big deal.
So, I know you very generously have an offer
Yeah.
for our listeners. Do you want to just tell me about this really quickly?
Yeah, so I'm super excited. If you are listening to the show, you will get a special discount off my group training, Elegant Warrior. And you can just go to the webpage that Susan has on the slide, and we will help you get all 7 areas of your life to a level 10, and we'll help you step into your power, become a warrior, know how to set boundaries, know how to not care what people think, and be your authentic, powerful, beautiful self. And then this retreat that we're having in the Baja Peninsula, wine country of Mexico, that's going to be October 3rd through 6th. And it's going to be a life-changing retreat. Not only will you learn the 7 pillars of abundance, but you are going to just be pampered by, like I said, these
It
beautiful,
sounds amazing.
these beautiful.
Okay, that's on my manifestation
Okay.
list. Can you give me an affirmation for that?
Yes. Well, you get 200 off for watching this podcast today with Susan, for watching her show. Just tell me high performing. And oh my God, the affirmation for going on the retreat is I am enjoying a luxury wellness retreat with Rebecca in Baja Peninsula, Mexico.
Beautiful Baja. Yeah.
Beautiful Baja, beautiful
Yeah.
Baja.
Blissful Baja.
Oh my God, it's going to be amazing. So that's October 3rd through 6th. And the link is right there. And I hope to see you, Susan, as well as some of the people in your community on this retreat. And a lot of people who live in Southern California will love this retreat. I've done a retreat in Playa del Carmen. I've done one in Medellin, Colombia, where you have to get on a plane. This one, you just have to get to San Diego, and we'll take it from there.
Oh, I think plenty of people would be, even not in California, would be happy to go this way at that time of the year.
Absolutely.
So for the listeners, if you want to, or viewers, just to take a screenshot of this, because it's obviously not clickable when it's on your screen. But I just want to see if anybody listening has a question. You can pop it into the chat now. Otherwise, these are also Rebecca's contact details. You can reach her you've got your website as well as your email here. So if you have any questions about any of the things that we talked about today or any of her offerings, that would be great. Let me see if anybody's put anything in chat. No, I do not have that. So let me just try to close that down again. Eeks. Here we go. Well, is there any final words? I think we've got to the end of our time here now. We've just gone over a half an hour. I could sit here and talk with you for hours, to be honest, Rebecca.
I know. I love this conversation. I said my final words are, don't take yourself so darn seriously, because we're all going out the same way. There are no U-Hauls following hearse. So enjoy yourself while you're here. And I really just believe in finding the joy and the playfulness in every day. And that makes life so much sweeter. And that will help you attract more money and love and happiness with ease and being in a flow state, finding the playfulness and the joy. And remember how we were when we were kids on the playground, having recess, just having fun. And we don't have to think of things as problems. We can just think of things as things to do, and it'll all get done.
That's awesome. A lot of wisdom there. Thank you so much, Rebecca, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.
Thanks for having me on your show. This has been really fun.
Awesome.